Are you thinking about taking the Duolingo English test, but you're not quite sure if it's the right English test for you? If so, you're in the right place. I'm Francis from Last Minute English, and in today's video, we're going to look at the pros and cons of the Duolingo English test and find out if it's the right English test for you. Here's what we'll cover. So, what is the Duolingo English test, or DET? The big advantages of the DET, some possible problems with the DET, and who the DET is best for. So let's get started with point one. What is the DET? So the DET, as I'm sure you know, the full name is Duolingo English Test, and it's from the company Duolingo. You probably know their app, which is a way that people learn languages. Now, DET is part of the same company, but it's not on the Duolingo app. All right, you have to go to the DET website if you want to take that test. The link is down here under this video. And basically, DET, it tests how good your English is. It gives you lots of different questions, and it's going to decide how good your English is in 4 areas. They are comprehension, production, conversation, and literacy. But really, that's just a fancy way of saying speaking, reading, listening, and writing. And after you take the exam, you'll receive your overall score and a breakdown of those 4 areas and a score for each one. So that's what the DET is. Let's think about the advantages of the DET, and there are a few very big advantages. The first is that it's very affordable, it's quite cheap. So if you take it one time, it costs $59, and if you take 2 exams, so you pay for 2 at the same time, each one is only $49. So it's a lot cheaper than other big exams like IELTS and TOEFL. It's also very convenient because everything is online. You do it in your own house, sitting at your computer. It's also quite short. Each test lasts less than 1 hour. If you think IELTS is 3 hours plus a speaking test, and you usually have to travel somewhere, this is much easier and more convenient because it's so short. And another good point, the results come very fast. So usually you get your results in 2 days, which is much quicker than other exams. The DET can also support your visa application if you're applying to countries like America, the United States, and Ireland. And if you're planning to study somewhere, it's a great exam as well, because now it's accepted in more than 5,000 different universities all around the world. So those are some really big advantages, but DET is not perfect, so let's see what the problems could be. So first of all, even though it's accepted in more than 5,000 universities, it's still not as widely accepted as IELTS and TOEFL. Those 2 are still more popular. But that's changing as time goes on, so it's good to check with the university that you want to study in whether or not they will accept DET. Another problem is that DET is scored by a computer. They use AI to give you your score. And most of the time that's absolutely fine, but it can sometimes be less accurate than if a human is scoring. Then the final issue is limited accommodations for students who have additional needs. So that's because it's a digital test, and that means that they have less ability to adapt the test to be able to meet the different needs of different people. So if you want more information about that, you can check out the DET's website. The link is under the video. Now, aside from the advantages and the disadvantages, there are also a few misconceptions. That's like wrong ideas that people have about the DET. So the first misconception people have is that Duolingo English test is too easy, because people are thinking about the Duolingo app, and if you start studying a language, you learn things like hello and goodbye and 1, 2, 3, and people have that idea, or maybe that it's a game, about the Duolingo English test. Of course, that isn't true. Duolingo English Test is testing even very, very high-level English speakers. But that's something that is still kind of a problem. So just be aware that if you're showing your DET score, you might have to explain that DET and Duolingo are not quite the same thing. They're connected, but not the same. And the other common misconception is about security. So people are a little bit worried that because the test is marked by AI, there could be some kind of AI security concern, like if the AI goes crazy and decides to steal your voice and take over the world. Now, the truth is that the test is marked by AI, but of course, there are people who are watching over and making sure that everything is normal. They're also checking to see if you're trying to cheat in the test, if anybody else is like helping you and saying, choose number 2, and things like that. So there are people involved, but they use AI to make everything a lot quicker. So those are some misconceptions. We've also looked at the advantages and disadvantages. But the big question, is Duolingo English Test the right test for you? So let's see who it is good for and who it's not good for. So it could be very good for you if you want to get a cheap English test and do it quickly, and you want to use it to apply for a visa or for a job or to study at a university. Just make sure that the visa or job or university accepts DET. And I think DET is particularly good if you are a working professional. You've got a full-time job and it's hard for you to take time off to take an English test, because this one's so short that you could almost do it in your lunchtime. And because it's all online, you don't need to go anywhere. So it's much more convenient if you are a working professional. And who is DET not good for? So I'd say it's not good for you if you want to go to a specific university or a specific country and you know that that university or that country doesn't accept DET. In that situation, of course, IELTS or TOEFL will be a better choice. So that is our breakdown of what DET is, advantages, disadvantages, misconceptions, and who it is good for. If you found this useful, make sure to like and subscribe this video. And if this video has helped you to decide if DET is right for you or not, please let me know in the comments underneath. If you're thinking about taking the DET, we have a free guide that you can download. It has all of the different question types, lots of information about how to take the test, and information about the different universities that accept DET. And you can find the link for that. It's totally free. The link is just here under the video. I'm Francis from Last Minute English. Good luck in your DET, or good luck with your other exam. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.